This conference will now be recorded.
Hope you are able to see my screen. Right. So today we will learn a topic which is similar to Ansible roles. I hope you remember Ansible roles. The last topic which we discussed, right? Ansible roles. In
Yes,
that
sir.
we have created correct. So in that we have created Apache, and like that we can create multiple roles, and we can use those roles in one main YAML file. We can call them under roles section. Similarly, a similar concept, same like Ansible roles, we have Terraform modules. Terraform modules also same. So today to explain this, so if you know roles, then you understand what is modules are for. What are the purpose of having modules? The purpose of having modules is that you can create whatever infrastructure you want. For example, I want to create a S3 bucket. I want to create EC2 instance. I want to create autoscale. I want to create load balancers. Okay, different things I want to create, and different things I want to use them together as a package. Then in Ansible roles, we called different roles under one roles section. Similarly, here also Terraform, we can do the similar way. So how we can do it similar way, that I will explain you. So to save some time, I have already uh, created a code, example code. So for example, if you see here in this folder, I have three files, two folders. One is EC2, another is VPC. Like that, you can have multiple folders for each infrastructure, whatever you want to create. For example, load balance. If you want to create load balancer, you can write one more folder. You can create inside. You can create one more folder with EC2. So before I get into these folders, above these folders we have three files. Provider, you know already what is provider is for. It is about access keys and accessing the regions, and variables. Of course, variables are for using variables, and main is like your main YAML file in your Ansible tool. So there in the main YAML, we have a section called roles. In that roles, we will mention Apache or another Jenkins role, whatever you have created. Similarly, here in main.tf also, we do the same thing. Okay, this is a role structure. Let me explain this in a more colorful way. Let's go to our. So sometimes here it won't show Visual Studio, even though we have installed it. No problem. I have not selected it maybe while installing. Maybe no problem. So here you click on open in new in terminal. So where I'm doing it, inside this folder, wherever I want to open these files and folders in Visual Studio. If you're not installed, install it. So here I'm right clicking, open in new terminal. Here you just simply say code. Code is a Visual Studio's binary file name. Is executable file name by code, and space and give a dot and press enter. When you do that, automatically our files, yes, I trust the authors, click on it. Automatically you will get the same whatever files we're discussing here. It will be opened in Visual Studio. Close this welcome folder. This is not open anyway. Now if you go to main.tf, if you open it main.tf, you see carefully here. Here two modules are there, module 1 and this is module 2. In this module I am saying my VPC, first module my VPC. I'm saying you can give any name, you can give any name in that. Okay, it is something related to VPC. We are going to create some VPC now. So source is a keyword now. Source, where is the VPC code available? I am giving some name related to path. In modules slash in modules folder, I have VPC folder. In that I have the source. That means how to create a VPC. Those things are there inside this VPC. Similarly, there is another module, my ECT, EC2. Where is my EC2 code available? The path I have to give. modules and path. These three things you ignore for some time. These are the variables. I will explain. I will come to this in a moment. First, VPC. I will not open VPC. It's a lengthy one. Let's start with EC2. Expand it. EC2. Again, if you see EC2, again it will have some structure like main output.tf. You know already. We have used output variables, and you know variables you can keep in a separate file. Now I want to keep some variables output file out, some variable file I created. You can give any name. It could be output or it could be anything, no problem. But meaningful, it is a more meaningful, right? In this, I am declaring variables of type output. You know what will happen when EC2 instance is created. That instance ID public IP will be stored in my variable name called public IP. I can use it later. I can use it later if I want. But anyway, in the EC2, I have main.tf. What is there inside? Obviously, as you expected, this is a AWS instance. This is a web instance name, web instance name, and is the image name, instance type T2 micro. And carefully, if you observe here, few things are extra I have written here, right? So, where you want to create your instance in real time? In real time, this is a real time scenario. I want to create my instance in a custom VPC. Then you have to mention it clearly, right? What is the subnet ID? What is the security group IDs? And what are the associated public IP address? Okay, you want to associate public IP address, right? So then you have to mention it as true. So I want to create my instance in a custom VPC. So custom VPC I'm creating in another module. This is my another module. If you go here, this it will contain the custom VPC. It looks very lengthy, right? But it's very simple. I will explain this VPC and I'll come back to our EC2. And if you remember what is VPC and how we created custom VPC long back, then you can understand the code very easily. You see, the custom VPC, what we did on that day, we created one VPC, custom VPC. In that two subnets, we created public and private. The same thing, how we did, let us see. This is my VPC folder in this main.tf. See, EC2 also having its own main folder, VPC also having their own folder. Like that, you can have multiple in multiple folders like that with each resource name. Whatever you want to create in that resource, you can create in that. Don't write everything in one single file. You can write everything in one single file. Here only you can write EC2 code, VPC code, variables, everything you can write here. The lines grows up to 500, 600 lines of those many lines you will create. And in that, if you everything you merge in the same file, then tomorrow if you want to do some changes, it is very difficult. It's very difficult to handle them. If you are the same person working on that script for a long time, then you can easily do the changes whenever you want. But a new journey came, new DevOps engineer came, he cannot do immediately. Tasks sometimes some tasks to be completed very fast. Even though those tasks are very easy, but the new journey will face very difficult because you cannot understand here it contains 500 lines of code. Everything is merged. All infrastructures are created in the same single file. The person before who created, he had not went into modular way. He has not went into modular way. If he has created separated them module wise, then if he has a task the new journey has to do regarding EC2 instance, then he can go to directly to that module and he can open the main.tf. And there he can do the changes required. So every code will be separated, same like Ansible roles. And how you can use them in your main.tf like this. You have to give the path VPC here it is and EC2 is here it is. Instead of writing all code here, just give the path. That's simple. Anyway, go to VPC. And here you see first what I'm doing. Resource, I want to create a custom VPC. This is a custom VPC. Can I remove this slides? Anyway, so this is the VPC I am going to create. The VPC name is custom VPC. This you can give anything. I want to create a custom VPC. And what is the range you want? If you remember, what is it? We have to give the range, right? Here is the range. VPC range is 10.0.0 to 16. That means 32 minus 16 to the power 16. To the power 16 means 65,531 IP addresses you can create. So whenever you're creating a VPC, compulsorily we have to provide the CIDR value. The same thing we are doing here. The same thing. What I'm saying, CIDR block. This is a key. CIDR block is a variable. So when you go to documentation, you will find everything. Whatever I'm doing, I have taken from the documentation only. I modified it accordingly. I have removed some unnecessary things. I'm cleanly written it. So CIDR block, the range I'm saying here, var dot vpc CIDR, and you know what is var means. You immediately should understand this is a variable name. I'm referring this variable name, var dot. You should not confuse now. But these are the syntaxes you know already. Var dot vpc CIDR. But where is this vpc CIDR variable available? In this file, it is not shown. Maybe I've created separately here. Let me see here. VPC CIDR, right? Click here. Here is a VPC CIDR variable. This is a variable I have declared. But where is the value? I'm saying it's a description. This is a comment. It's a comment. CIDR block for the entire VPC. It's okay. That is fine. But what is the type? Type is string. That is also fine. But what is the value? Where I can get the CIDR value? That is available in our main.tf. In the main.tf, if you go here, you will see VPC dot CIDR equal to this is the range I'm giving. I can refer my variable from anywhere. No worries. The VP CIDR, this is variable. This variable I'm directly using, but I'm not declared here. See, in this main.tf, this main is main for all the modules. This is a main module. In this module, I'm using VPC CIDR. But even though I'm using VPC CIDR, this VPC CIDR is a variable name. This is not a keyword. I want to use it. I have to declare it first. Yes, I have declared it. Where? In the VPC I've included, right? My source code I've included right here. When I included, then all the code will be automatically pasted here. You will not see it here. Everything, variables, output, main, everything will be at the runtime. When you're running the script, everything will be placed in this place. And your VPC CIDR variable will found somewhere above itself. But here we are thinking that it is not there, but it will be added here. It will be merged here in the runtime. When you get the path and the path matches, then all the content having in each file, everything will be grabbed and kept here. When it grabbed and kept here, then in this variable section in this file, I have the VPC CIDR declaration. You see, click on it. Here is the VPC CIDR. This will automatically copied and it will be pasted here, near above here somewhere. So your Terraform will not complain. It will not complain you. I did not found VPC CIDR. It has found it because you have merged here. All the code will come over here. That is fine. Hope you are understanding. The VPC CIDR. Then next is what? Public subnet, private subnet. You can change the names whatever way you want. So for public subnet, you know, right? This is a public subnet, this is a private subnet. How many instances you want here? How many instances you want here? IP address, I'm sorry. How many IP address you want and here in this? So the range already given here. 10 dot this is a range and this is another range. These variables I am using in my VPC main.tf. So I'm saying create the custom VPC and then create a subnet. This is one subnet, this is another subnet. See, two subnets are there. One is for public subnet. You can give any name. This is not a key. And this is a private subnet. Now, where this subnet should be created? When you practicing this session, you definitely you might have added your subnet under VPC. A drop down will be there. There you will select your custom VPC. In that you create the subnets. Similarly here also the same thing. Instead of selecting graphically in the user interface you have selected, but in the code how can we mention the same thing? Here you should say VPC ID equal to AWS underscore VPC dot custom VPC dot ID. You see, this is very important to understand. One thing you should understand, when you create a EC2 instance, a ID will be created. For every service whatever you create, a ID will be created. Even for your custom VPC also, a ID will be created. When a ID is created, when it is created, you tell me, when it is your AWS cloud provider completely allocates the required infrastructure and it creates it, only then he will associate a ID. If you take EC2 instance, then public ID and private ID, we will not come to know, right? Those IP address we don't know, right? Unless EC2 instance is completely created, only then we will come to know what is public ID IP address and what is private IP address. Similarly, for this VPC also, right? Well, when I'm creating my subnet, the subnet, this is a key. This name should not change. This is a AWS VPC. This is AWS subnet. VPC ID is must. If you give the VPC ID, only then whose ID I want, this particular custom VPC ID I want. But you know, this VPC ID value, the ID I don't have. It has to be created first. So for that reason, anyway, I will explain you step by step. If you understand this, then you can easily work with any type of infrastructure. Here you see, this is a VPC. This is a custom VPC I created, right? And this VPC, when it is created, automatically for this ID should be created, will be created by the created by whom? AWS provider. The provider will do what? When Terraform submits this request to AWS cloud provider, the cloud provider understands, okay, you want to create a custom VPC with the name custom VPC. Somebody is struggling. It seems Shivin. Okay. So yeah, where we are, custom. So when this code is submitted by our Terraform tool to our AWS cloud provider, the cloud provider understands, okay, you want to create a AWS VPC, no problem. What name you want to keep it? Okay, custom VPC you want to keep it? Okay, I will keep it. What is the cider you want to assign? Okay, this is a cider value. Okay, I will assign. Then it will create, our cloud provider will create it. After creating it, cloud provider do what? It will assign a ID for this VPC. A ID, it will automatically assign a ID. That ID I want. So how I am referring it, you see here, VPC ID in the subnet. This subnet should added under the VPC. That is the reason I have to provide the VPC ID, under which VPC ID you want your subnet to be added. That VPC ID I want to provide here, equal to AWS VPC. The same thing. Copy paste. Dot your VPC name. Dot ID. When you say like this, automatically when this particular script is executed, then your Terraform tool, when provides this script to our cloud provider understands, okay, you want to create a subnet. Okay, and where I want to create this subnet, in which VPC? I am seeing two VPCs here. One is default, another is custom VPC. Just now we have created. Under which you want to create? Then I'm saying it clearly. This is the ID. Under this ID I want to create. Then already it is created by the cloud provider. It knows the ID. Then the ID value will be assigned to this VPC ID automatically. That ID, then your AWS provider understands, okay, you want to create a public subnet with the name public subnet under this VPC ID. This ID, don't worry how to get it, your cloud provider will take it. It automatically already created it, right? So already it has created it. A ID might have been already generated. That ID it will use here. Then your subnet will be created inside your custom VPC only, not in your default VPC. And then now your subnet also wants some cider value, like your VPC we given cider block. Here also we have to use the same key cider block. What is the range? Here I'm saying public sub 1 cider. Where is this variable available? This is a variable, you see, variable. This is not a variable, you see. We should differentiate like this. Whenever you referring a variable, we use var keyword we use. When you are not using var, means somewhere this name, somewhere this source name is there above somewhere. You should search like that. Very easy to understand. Now var dot public sub one cider, this, where is this variable declared? I told you, in the main.tf. Here is the main public sub cider. This is the cider range. You can decrease this range if you want. You can give 24, 26, 27, 28, up to 28 you can give. Your wish, no problem. And then once it is done, then zones. In which zone you want to create it? I want to create in zone 1A. I want to create this in one zone A. And tags, you give some tag. Similarly, same copy paste over here, same code, only name changes. Public subnet, this is private subnet. Everything is same. This time the cider block is changed. This previous it was public subnet id, and this is public subnet sub one cider. This is different cider. This private side id also available here only. This is the value we are referring. And then this one I want to create in our south 1b. This I want to create in our zone 1a and 1b. That means till now this job is done. You see, VPC we created, this subnet is we created, this subnet also we created, the range also we provided, shadow also we provided. Next remaining what? Our tables, right? So tables also required, right? So come down. Before tables, okay, this we did. Just scroll down, come down. From here we should understand. This time, as you know, I explained you at the time. The custom table or main table, in that internet gateway, if internet gateway is available, then our instances which are in the inside our inside a public subnet, they can access the internet. That means I should create a internet gateway first. I should create a internet gateway. I should create an internet gateway first. Let us see how we can create programmatically. I mean using the AWS Terraform SDK. Here you see resource name is one minute please. I'm just trying to increase the size. Zoom mode control KZ. Okay, how to come back? I'm sorry. Are you able to see the text properly? Any issues while observing it, or do you want me to increase
No
the
issues.
text font size? No
No
issue.
issues, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So here you see. Now I want to create internet. Very simple. AWS underscore internet gateway. This code also available in our Terraform documentation. AWS underscore internet underscore gateway. What name you want to give? Custom underscore IGW. You can give any name. And next, as you know, when we created internet gateway, right? When we created internet gateway, VPC, what we do? The same things. Whatever we do, the same thing. Now here on the left side, for example, internet gateway is there. For example, click on this. For example, it is already one internet gateway is there. When you say create internet gateway, you see, okay, let me test it, and create internet gateway. Okay, it is done now. And then this test, when you select this internet gateway, it is detached, right? So when you go to actions, you have to attach to VPC. Here the VPC id should provide. We have to select the VPC, right? The same thing we are doing here. In which VPC you want to add your internet gateway? I want to add my custom VPC to my custom VPC. I want, so this id I want to get. Just copy this, copy and paste here. You know what it will do? The resource name, user given name, dot id, the same copy paste, that id will get it. Then your internet gateway will be attached to your VPC. Whatever we did here practically, if I have not created VPC, if I have created, then I would have seen my VPC here, I would have selected it, and then I would have attached it. The same step I am doing here. Go to internet gateway and delete it. Everything, if you have practiced VPC, I believe you did it. If you did it, then you should not find any confusion here. Very simple, but still I'm explaining you if you have forgotten. So your internet gateway custom IGV, your VPC ID tags, that's enough. And now comes your route table. And now comes your router. I want to create a new route table. How to create a new route table? Simple. AWS underscore route underscore table. This is a key. Like how you create a VPC, how you create a subnet, how you create internet gateway, you have a key like to create a route table. You give any name. I want to give name as public route table, something. And again, this route table should be associated with VPC. As per the diagram, this route table should be associated with this VPC. Then how you do? VPC ID equal to copy paste. Same, you will get the ID. Now, here you see. Sorry. Now, once you assign, how you give route. Now you see, if you go to our VPC, I removed it. Yeah. If you go to your route tables here, for example, in the route table, if you select this route table, if you click on routes, you see two entries are there. It's a default VPC. You see, this route table belongs to default VPC. In the default VPC, if you observe carefully, by default, internet gateway will be added. This is your VPC, your complete VPC local. Local means all the 65,531 servers can communicate among them using the private IP addresses. That is the meaning of this entry. When you say this range, VPC range and local means all of them can communicate using their IP addresses. All the instances can communicate. In this picture, this instance in this subnet, this is another subnet. Even though they can communicate using private IP addresses, that is okay. Then what is this? This internet gateway I added. This internet traffic coming from going and coming from where? 0.0.0 means it is to the internet. It will be the internet. So these things I want to add. How I can add it? A entry programmatically. I have created a new route table. To this I want to add this. This entry will be automatically added. Don't worry. No need to add this one. Only I should care about adding this entry. So to add this entry, internet gateway should be created first. I did that, and then now I have to create a route table. I have created it. While creating it, I want to add some routes as well. So the same thing I'm doing here. See, I'm creating a route table and I'm attaching it to my VPC ID I'm giving, and then what is the route? So setter block. This is the setter. We have to give setter block this complete internet. Internet from internet, anybody can access it from the internet. Gateway ID. This is a keyword. Gateway ID. You just now created your internet gateway, right? How can you get the internet gateway? Same like VPC. How you got the VPC ID? AWS VPC dot custom VPC dot ID. Similarly, I want internet gateway ID. Then this name dot custom IGW dot ID. The same thing. You see, this way you will get the ID. The ID will be assigned to here. Assigning this means what? Assigning this means in the route table we are adding this value. This ID IGW and hyphen 06C3 is you seeing it, right? This value we are fetching. This value we are fetching and we are assigning it to a gateway ID in our route table. Now your route table is ready. Your route table also ready. Internet gateway ready, route table ready. Everything is ready. And what next? I am not, here in this code. I have not created private route table. If you are interested, you can try private route table. Same concept. Same concept. But here, what I did, I have created two subnets, but I am not creating instances inside it. I want to create an instance inside here. In this subnet, I want to create a instance. That we'll see in a moment. Now, route table also ready. Next, what I'm doing? What do you do in this picture? If you see, once route table is ready, what do? You have to associate this subnet, right? This public subnet to this table, right? Only then, whenever this instance trying to connect to the internet, then our router will check the route table whether this instance can connect to internet or not. How it will decide? By seeing the entry. So subnet is created, custom table also created, but association has not been happened. So these things we did it right. So how we do it? Just scroll down. Here is the subnet associations. You have to click it, and then you have to click edit subnet. There we did the association. Here you won't find any associations. So when you don't find any associations, then what we learned in the default VPC or in custom VPC, if you don't if you have created subnets but you have not associated, then if you have not associated, then all those subnets will automatically map it to main route table. Map it to main route table. See, this is a main route table. Main, yes, it's a main. That means if it's a main route table, association is not required. Automatically, the subnets here in this we have three subnets. All these three subnets will be mapped to this route table by default because I have not associated, not required also. If you are not associated, by default, all the subnets will be associated, mapped to your main route table. So, but here I want to do it separately. I want to associate. So, how to associate? Code AWS underscore route table association is a keyword. So, which one? I give some name. Public one or route table association. Then, so to this route table, which subnet you want to assign? I want to assign subnet here I have created. This one. I'm sorry, this one. This one I want to associate. Then, then what I have to do here? Here we have a keyword. Here we have a keyword subnet ID. This is a keyword. In the route table association, in this we have a route table keyword subnet ID equal to I want to give the ID of this subnet. You know, right? AWS underscore subnet dot public subnet dot ID. That way you will get the ID. See, AWS subnet dot public subnet dot ID. So you got the ID now, right? And then what is the route table ID? What is the route table ID? So while creating the association, we have to give the route table. Just we now created here only we created this ID. We have to provide route table ID. Select the route table because we might having multiple route tables. So which route table you want to associate with this subnet? The route table name dot public route that name dot ID. That means now a association has been happened now. Now this subnet is mapped to this instance, this table now. This table contains internet gateway. Now security group. So security group. So in to this route table, to this VPC, I want to add a security group. So how can you create a security group? How can you create a security group like this? AWS underscore security group. Using Terraform, you can create your own security group. You know, we have created security groups, multiple security groups we have created, but in Terraform, how can you create? See, when you say inbound rules, instead of inbound rules, we use ingress. So ingress is nothing but inbound rules. So here, first of all, your security group name, give some security group name, public SG, and name equal to, you can give any name, VPC ID. So security group should be associated with to which VPC? Again, VPC custom VPC dot ID. I want to assign this security group to my custom VPC. That VPC ID you have to give. What are the inbound rules? Here you see from source. This side block is source. So from means HTTP. HTTP protocol. Its protocol number is ID is port number is 80. And another, this is not required. But what is this? 443. This is for HTTPS. If you want to allow both HTTP and HTTPS, HTTPS port number is 443, HTTP port number is 80. So every port have its own functionality. So if I want to give multiple port numbers, you can do this. This is a port, this is a port number, and this is a source. This is a port number and the source. Anybody can access source. This is like source. Anywhere we select anywhere, right? This is nothing but this one. This ingress means inbound. Egress means outbound. Outbound rules, you know, right? Full access you can give completely like this. If whenever you want to give all permissions, you can give like this. So you see, if you go to your security groups, if you select any one of them, so these outbound rules, you see here you will see all traffic. So no restriction, protocol all, port range all, everything. So same thing, if you want to give in your script, then you can give like this, 0 0 -1 and 0 this internet anybody can access. So 0 0 destination, everything, all. If you want to give like that, you can give out the egress, that is your outbound range. Fine. This is your VPC. Please let me know if you have any questions here. In this creation of VPC, do you have any question? If you know this, then you can work on any kind of resource. Because here we learned how to get a VIP ID, how we can use the values of different block names in another block. Those you saw it. So a complete VPC is created now. What is missing then? Missing is in this subnet, I want to create a EC2 instance inside it, inside this public subnet, which is inside this VPC. How can we do it? Let us see. Now this VPC is done now. This VPC is main is this completed. I have explained it. And output and variables, I'll come to it in a moment. Go to your EC2 instance. Here we have main.tf. Select it. Here you observe carefully. AWS instance you know already. What is instance name you want to give? You can give any name, no problem. AMI, I will to check. This is a world ID or which one I have to check once. Okay. Okay. Some image ID. Instance step T2 micro. And you know you can use variables here also. If you want, you can use them. And now important question is subnet ID. Right. So to which subnet it has to belong? Instance should install in which subnet? So this subnet ID I want to give. If I want to create my instance inside this subnet, then I want to get the ID of the subnet. So that if I get it, then I can do like this subnet ID. So AWS instance contains many keywords like AMI, instance types, availability zones, right? Subnet ID, okay, VPC security, all things will be there. So here subnet ID is one of them. Here I'm saying where dot public subnet ID. I'm saying public subnet ID. Where dot I'm saying, that means it is a variable. Somewhere I'm referring it. Where is this variable? Public subnet ID. It should be here. You see, in the output file we have public subnet ID. Now yesterday I was telling you that it is very important to understand output variables. Why? Because it's you can understand now. Thing is, whenever VPC is created, I have explained everything. Whenever a VPC is created, then your VPC will have some ID. Your subnet also will have ID. So this subnet having some ID, right? This subnet ID when it is created, I want to store the ID of this subnet. I want to store this ID in a variable. Okay. So AWS subnet dot public underscore subnet dot ID. Here I'm using same thing. You see, AWS subnet dot public subnet dot ID. So what happens is that output variable is a special type of variable. Is a special type of variable. So when you executed when the VPC is created successfully, so when all the when all the required IDs are created by the AWS cloud provider, those values which are created after that, those values will be automatically fetched and stored in this variable public subnet ID. So this variable you can use in another modules as well. And you see another one, public secret group ID. And you see whenever you create an instance or anything, whenever you create, suppose this is you see in the security group ID. Every security group will have a ID, its own ID. This ID we don't know unless it is created. I want this ID. So this ID, if you want to get it, then you see here in the VPC main.tf, we have created a security group. Here is a security group. This security ID, then I want to store it. If you want it, then you have to store it in a output variable. Once it is created, and even after that also, if you want to use the ID of this security group, then you have to store that value in a output variable. How I'm storing it? You see, AWS security group dot public sj dot id. You see, go to output.tf. Here is a, this way I'm storing it. Value equal to, I'm saying, when you say value equal to, means the value automatically assigned to this variable. That means this variable contains what? This variable contains this kind of ID. Why I'm storing it? I want to use it somewhere. Let's see how I can use it. Now the subnet ID also I have used it. Why I'm storing this subnet ID? Because my plan is, in my VPC, I know I have a custom VPC. In the custom VPC I have a subnet. If I know the ID, if I get the ID of this subnet, public subnet, then I can create my instance inside this subnet. But for that I should know the ID of this subnet. For that reason, whenever the subnet is created, then immediately that ID I want to store in a output variable. I stored it. When I store it, that variable, that value I will use in my EC2 module. Whenever I am getting EC2 instance, at that time, this subnet ID I will provide to this EC2 instance. The same thing you do, no? The same thing when you create an instance, what do you do? Your launch instance, when you say, you'll select your a subnet, right? You come over here and edit. Here you select subnet. You see, every subnet will have its own ID. See, subnet hyphen 097 some ID. And this another ID, this another ID. Three IDs are there. But I want to idea of the custom VPC. In the custom VPC, there is subnet created. That ID I want. I want this ID. So if you want it, you have to store it. You have to store it. So I've stored that ID. Now in the main dot, this another module is EC2 module. Don't confuse. This is EC2 module. I have created my instance type. This up to here you know everything. Here subnet ID is, I'm referring now where dot public subnet ID. This variable is nothing but your output variable. You see, same thing I'm referring here. This contains already the subnet ID. I'm referring here. Similarly, to my instance, what security group you want to give? VPC security group ID. Public, it's array. That is because it is in square bracket. Because there is good chance of having multiple IDs. So this is a type of array. When you see the documentation, there they will mention it. It stores multiple security group IDs. So in that case, you have to put in a square bracket. Don't remove square brackets because it is not a string type. It is not a normal variable. It's a array type. So you have to put in a square bracket. If you have more IDs, you can give a comma over here. You can give a comma over here. You can add more IDs like this if you want. Right? But here you cannot do. This is not an array type. You cannot do a comma like this. It will give an error. Associate public IP address. Yes, I want to associate a public IP address. Then you have to click say true. Now your EC2 instance will be created in your subnet. And then what is user data? What is this new thing? See, it is not a new thing. I forgot to explain this. It's a simple example. Let me, what happened? Uh, so let me explain you a simple example and we will come back to this topic. Now, for example, I did not explain you this before. Somewhere I should have that. Maybe some other for other people I explained it. Okay, if I explain, it's not mandatory for this topic. It is not mandatory, but still, uh, we will see that a simple example, very simple example. Uh, let's get a this is off topic. Okay, this is off topic, a sample example. If you understand this, then that example you can understand better. One instance I want to create sample project. Then it's Amazon. Okay, take Amazon instance type keyword 3. Now VPC, no preference. Okay, no preference. Here launch wizard. Okay, 2. That's okay. I want to add one more rule. Add a security group rule. One more rule. Here I want to add one more rule, that is HTTP. HTTP, and anybody can access it. Okay, anyway. 2 rules I added. You can add it later also. You know that. Now go to advanced details. In the advanced details, these are very basics. I will explain it someday. It's very self-explanatory, but I will explain it later. Very simple. Come down. Here we have user data. User data optional. Upload a file with your user data or enter it in the field. So you can, uh, when your instance is created at that time, if you want and you want to upload some website, you can do it here. But condition applies. The script should be very small. You can add your bash script. We learned bash scripts, right? Something like bin bash. It is script bin bash, and then so advantage is that when your application is running, your application also deployed here automatically. So whatever you do, what you do when you instance Amazon is launched and you log into Amazon, and then you do what sudo su super user or hyphen I, both are fine. And then what you do, update yum update, you update, so hyphen y you will give, so that it will not ask you again. You will update it because I'm using Amazon. If it is a Ubuntu, then you should use apt here. Try that with apt. Now yum here. Now I want to install what, httpd, right? httpd, and here http version I have to mention something like x86. It's not mandatory, but you can say x86 and architecture 64-bit, 64-bit. This way you have to give hyphen y. Install yum install httpd x86. Okay, right? And then what you want to do, you have to start this service, right? So for that, system ctl, right? Start, what you want to start, httpd service, httpd dot service. Then you have to enable httpd service. Now enable, yeah, service here also service. Want this here also service, right? Systemctl enable. If let me know if I am doing any spelling mistakes here, please. That is fine. And now comes, now what you want to display. I want to display something like, let me go to some basic and okay, try it yourself here. Okay, you can do something like a testing user data feature, right? Run it, testing user data feature, done, nice. Then let me color it, run. Yeah, here it should not be colon, it should be colon, run. Yeah, nice. So copy this. Now this one I want to move. First, when Apache is installed, you know what will happen. A var folder will be created. Inside that www folder will be created. Inside that HTML folder will be created. In that I want to, in that we have HTML file also, right? Index.file, sorry, index.html file. To this file, I want to copy this content. To this file, I want to copy this complete code into this. I want to put that instruction inside here only, where it is. Here only I want to put it. You can do it something like, see, let me put in single line. So this is a complete line. Okay, this complete line you have to put in double quotation, right? And this has to be moved to where? To move here, you have to say greater than symbol two times. Move this code to where? This is a path. Here I want to move. Then who can do that? We have a command called echo. Echo is a command Echo is a command. It will do what? Echo will, I'm sorry, here I forgot double quotation. Yeah, this is a beginning. From year to year, the complete code has to be moved to copy to into this file. Copy this everything, right there, or else one please. Not this one. It's okay. One please. Uh, yeah, this looks nice, right? Perfect. So as a DevOps engineer, these things are not required. You no need to understand these things. But if you're interested, you can sometimes while working you can play with it. Anyway, so body here some extra colon I'm observing. Double colon. Correct. This is nice. The whole thing I want to copy now. The whole thing I want to copy. If any mistake, then it will not work. Here I'm pasting it here. That means these instructions I'm running. Same thing, whatever you do manually after login, the same thing you can do it here also. So this will be installed while your institute instance is prepared. At that time only this will be installed. Okay. Now launch instance and copy this anyway. Copy the whole thing. Launch instance. Then and this text I want to use in my here I want to use the whole thing. The same thing I want to use. The same thing I want to use. And if you want to use the whatever we did same thing, if you want to do the same thing, then you have another key called user data, and in that equal to file. Here I'm trying to add one more concept. So so here if you this is available, the content, the file content is available in this file, right? Then I have to give the file name here, something like main dot user data equal to file double quotation. The double quotation you have to say the file name, install http.sh. So this way whatever it contains, that will be, that means whenever your EC2 instance created in this particular subnet, that EC2 instance contains some application running inside it already. Okay, we just try to, it's not, we won't do this in real time, we won't do this. Okay, but here I got the chance to explain this variable type as well, so I'm using this opportunity to explain this as well. Okay, but this is not mandatory. If you even you ignore, we are done with it. Any questions till now? And here in the main dot region, this is the region, the region name, and the provider I'm using, how I'm using where dot region. Okay, and I'm using the access keys, these are the access keys. Okay. Okay, now the big problem is I have to create this from scratch. Now let me go to my instances. This instance is already running. Select it, copy this, and let's see whether we are able to get that output. Okay, no problem. Maybe in the script I did some problem mistake, maybe. No, that's not good, that could not be a mistake. uh,
What number should not tell you, right?
Port number, I added, no, I added it, no. Let me check. Inbound rules, yes, httpd is, I added it. 280 is added. Something with the code. But anyway, I want to use this instance. While at the time I will correct it, no problem. Okay. Select this and let's where is that instances? Everything is done, only thing is what is left is we have to execute it, that's all. Just give me a few minutes. So I'm connecting to this machine, the same machine. This one we can use it, but no, let use change it to Terraform. Okay. So by the way, here we have to install Terraform. So for that we have the scripts that above. So run them. Oh, done. So Terraform is ready now. Then what I will do, I'll create a module name, something like make director modules. Okay, this is a module, this is a folder ls. See see carefully, this is a code. In this code, in the main, this is a main module. See the folder structure. The main module, what I'm saying, my VPC is inside modules, right? And and my EC2 also inside the modules, right? This is a modules folder. This is my module folder. So whatever groups EC2 whatever I'm going to create should be inside my modules. So go to modules ls. Okay, here you have to create EC2 EC2 one uh, one here we are getting one module now. So here cd, in the EC2 what we have, this is one file, is another file, is another file, four files are there, right? We have to create the first one, that is this file I want to create. So vi dot sh, and in this we have to use this content insert mode. One is done, and another is main.tf. Another is what, output.tf. You first try to understand the files and then you practice. Don't just type it without understanding, useless, that is time waste. Whenever you're doing what you're doing, if you understand that, that will be very helpful. Just writing and typing and seeing the output is time waste. Instead, don't do that. Escape. So our module EC2 is ready now. Now next LS now. Okay, I should have created all of them in the EC2, right? Hmm. Now this is another task. Already is there. So how many we have main? Okay, one file is missing, right? This file somehow rename and paste it and create a file here. PI. Come out of it. Now we have one EC2 folder. Now create one more folder. VPC. CD VPC. Ls we don't have anything. Now vi main.tf. Insert mode. So all three are done. Fine. Then finally cd dot dot ls. cd dot dot ls. So it's a module folder now. In here I'm creating one main.tf. So in this main.tf I'm mentioning where VPC is there, where EC2 is. First we have to create VPC. That is the reason first VPC module we picked, and then our EC2 instance. And then okay, sorry, provider. So provider, this I'm just let me check whether the same access keys I'm using. So go to our security groups. Not here. What is the provider? AKIA. AKIA. Yeah, this will work. We want provider.tf file. Naveen, yesterday's issue solved.
No, Madan, I had tried with different regions.
Okay. The default one we should not touch actually.
Unexpectedly, I had touched at the time of when learning AWS.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, our complete setup is ready now. Setup is ready now. Now next thing is, okay. By the way, uh, cd slash wars slash w. Oh, here it has not installed. That is a problem. See, cd slash var, we don't have www folder. You see, that means our HTTP has not installed properly. That is a problem. So that is the reason previously it failed. In that case, clear the screen. For now also it will fail. Vi cd modules cd EC2 ls. In this we have this file, right? Open it, edit mode. So here, why it is not installed? Is any problem? Install hyphen y httpd start system.ctl enable. Perfect. Here single quotation also fine, and looks nice. Okay, it's not mandatory anyway, forget it. It should work if it works. Now this is the main tf file. Now terraform init first command. Now see here, we don't have VPC as of now. If we select here VPC, as of now we have only one default VPC, one route table, 3 seconds. So now in add, we should get two internet gateways now here, and our instance also should be created. A new, one moment, which instance you are getting? Yeah, that is fine. Correct. New instance. It's okay. It is ready now. Let us say plan. Not plan. Before that, let me format my files. All are formatted. Terraform plan. Okay, it is saying that. Okay, got it. Here, there's a problem with the name. Hmm. You see, I'll show here and I correct there. Output variable. Here I'm using public IP as it was instance web instance. So web instance. But what is my in the main TF what instance name I've given? Here also web instance only, no? Mhm. I think any idea? You can you try the issue? What could be the issue? Revanti Uha, any idea? Swaraj,
Yes, sir.
any idea what could be the issue? The file name syntax it is saying it's not correct.
Yes, sir.
invalid function argument. Install httpd sh. No file exists at the okay. When this problem will come, when it is not finding the path. Whenever it is not finding the path, what we have to do is you should say dot star. You have to give a relative path like this, then it will work. Okay, let us fix that. Where is our code? cd module cd EC2 instance vi tab. Now here, not here, right? ls vi main. Here it is not finding the path. There are, you might have studied, so it could not find the path, so simply you should give it dot stars. Okay, this way it's a relative path, then it will find it. Escape. Now you should not fail. Cd enter, clear the screen, terraform plan. Very good. And what is the file name actually? Install httpd, right? Right, cd module. What is the file name? Install, same name, right? Install httpd. This function works only with files that are distributed. So if this file will return this, I will you fix this issue. You try to fix this issue. See how to use user data value in the documentation. In the documentation, you try how to use it proper way, in a proper way, right? That is one way. Another way is one moment, please. It is not finding here. Exact path. One moment, please. Present working directory, root modules EC2. That is fine, but that also fine. Exact path also you can give, but you try. Okay, you try what is the best way to do it. Normally this is a very rare scenario, we won't use it, but just I thought of showing it. In real time we won't use it anyway, but still let me give the complete path and try. Insert mode, paste it. Root, what is the path, do you remember? Root module EC2, right? This much lengthy path is not required. If this time also if doesn't work, then I will comment it out. This is a different issue. It's a different issue. Okay, so ls vi provider, here where region we already provided. Maybe the key also is fine, but cat variables dot here ap south one, perfect. Then why it is giving here vi providers, right? Let me change this and reassociate a new key here. Security credentials, select this one. Actions, delete, deactivate. Create a queue access key. Yes, understand. Insert mode. Now you see it is saying what it is doing. It is creating custom VPC now. The tags whatever you mentioned. Total items how many it is creating? Resources. Eight resources it is creating. 8 resources. So the first one is AWS instance. This instance image. Oh my god, what is the image 0018 is if it is a Ubuntu image, then our instructions will not work. The instructions which you are given in the user data, that will not work. Hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. So here EC2, go to EC2, and here instance, launch instance, and AWS instance AMI is 013, and if you see the plan, it is creating 0018. 0018 image is Ubuntu's image by any chance? I'm not sure. Okay, by the way, can I see the Linux? Is it Linux? Can I, that is it. Let's see. I'm not sure. If you're not sure, better do one thing. If you're not sure, because we have not yet launched it, right? So one thing we can do, what is that? We can copy the image ID. Cancel. So this is Amazon Linux. Confirm changes. I will copy this. I will copy this image. Then what I will do? This is a plan. So before I execute my plan, let me go to module and change my content in the main TFL, right? Vi main.tf. Open it. Insert mode. Here the image I want to change this image. So insert mode, delete it, and right click and paste our Amazon. That's it. Save it. Now we can execute now. Terraform, Terraform, and what is that? What is that? Apply. Auto approve. Now when I run this, let's see what all eight. See eight in this eight, the VPC will be created and your internet gateway will be created. See, this route table is creating, right? Your route table is created here. Internet gateway also created. Okay, these are all will be created. Let's see. Now go to our VPC and let us see what happening. So already showing number 2. Okay, so you see already our custom VPC is created here. You see, okay, select it. I've selected my custom VPC. Here subnets are created. 2 subnets are created. Subnets. See, public subnet we just now created. A route table also we created. Route table. This is a one. In the route table we have added our routes as well. This is the one we added, and then subnet association also we did. If you remember, the public server, only this one we added. See the range, slider range also. Okay, internet gateway also we created. See this internet gateway. Where is that? Here it is the one. See custom VPC. We attached our internet gateway. You see everything we have did programmatically, right? And now let us see what happened to our instance. Okay, click on instances. Our server instance with server name it is created. Nice. Let me check. Can I able to launch it? This was not work last time. No problem. Let's again we try. Enter. It is somehow the script problem maybe, but it's okay. But if you ignore the script but try to understand the main concept, VPC, how we created VPC, and moreover where is this VPC created, right? So the range, if you observe, the range is 10.0.1.153. This is a different range. You see that this is the range we given while creating our VPC. We have given this range 10.0. This is the range we given. In that range only it has created. It is in subnet 1, right? The subnet range is what? 10.0.1. It should start after 1. It should assign a value. See, after 1 it's assigning a value. If you see our normal instances always starts with 172. Amazon instances all private IPs starts with 172. Remember. So all this, but the one which I created, it's in subnet 1. This is a proof. It's a subnet 1. Any questions, please? And now if I delete it, for example, if I delete it, no need to worry about deleting all resources individually. Automatically it will take care. Here you will find it very helpful. Now you see Terraform apply and Terraform destroy. All these 8 items will be deleted properly, and we need to worry. Previously we have to take care everything whatever we created, we do not remember also. So Terraform will take care, no need to remember. It will have all the details in a Terraform state file. It will take care of it. So here if you see, our instance should be shutting down, or server is terminated. Our VPC is also by now, this should be gone now. Refresh it. No VPC now. Only one VPC. VPC dashboard still showing it. It's still in the process. See, it's saying destroy completed, resource 8 destroyed. That means your route table, see, your VP is showing only 1, your subnets are 3, route table is 1, internet gateway also deleted, everything is deleted. No need to worry whether we deleted it properly or not. With that, no need to worry, right? So any questions please till now? One moment please, I should have my code here. Give me, already I've spent some time, good time here. Give me 2 more minutes please. Let me try that one small last time. Where is that? This is data. What data it is? This another data. That is okay. Linux commands. Maybe downloads. The script it should be there somewhere here. If is deploy. I removed it, but otherwise it's not a big thing. Ubuntu. You try this. Let me know. You try this part. Let me know, at least you are able to do it or not. Let me know. It should work actually. Anyway, so that's all about it today. So other than that, if you have any questions, let me know, and tomorrow at same time we'll connect again. Hmm? Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for your time. We'll meet tomorrow at same time. Take care.